You may or may not have heard the term fracking before. So, what is fracking? Simply put, fracking, which is a shorthand term for hydraulic fracturing, is the process of injecting high-pressure fluids containing water, chemicals, and sand into deep rock formations to break free natural gas and petroleum. From 2014 to 2016, a battle had been going on in Alameda County courts concerning fracking and similar forms of oil extraction. On the table of discussion was at first one draft of an ordinance, and eventually 3. Version A, the first version proposed, is a complete ban on all forms of fracking, including a new water-intensive method called water flooding. Version B, proposed by E&B Natural Resources, allowed all forms of fracking. Version C, introduced last, was a compromise banning all forms of fracking except water flooding. So, on May 23, 2016, Alameda County residents and organizations opposing fracking and oil extraction showed up to a third hearing along with representatives from the oil company operating in Livermore, E&B Natural Resources.
Hi, so you're here for the fracking hearing, and tell me about why you're here. Who you are?
Sure. My name's Ella Tivan. I'm with a group called Food and Water Watch. We represent over 16,000 residents here in Alameda County, and we're calling for a ban on fracking and other forms of enhanced oil recovery like water flooding, because it's what the folks in Alameda County want for our water and for our health.
All right. And so what measure, or is there anything you're hoping will be passed tonight? Is there a particular measure?
Great question. So there is an ordinance on the table that has an optional loophole in it that would allow water flooding, which is a really dangerous and water-intensive cousin of fracking that can be toxic. And so we are calling for the strongest possible ordinance to be passed that does not include a loophole to let water flooding into our county.
Yeah, and we already have a big shortage on water as it is, so it's pretty crazy, huh? All right. Well, thank you for talking, and good luck.
After a long, detailed breakdown of the varying forms of fracking, many speakers, both individuals and representatives of organizations or companies, came to the podium to speak their views and recite facts. Opponents of the ban were E&B Natural Resources and a representative for a board member of the Alameda County Agricultural Advisory Committee. Proponents of the ban were the Alameda County Against Fracking Coalition, United Native Americans, Alameda County Interfaith Climate Network, Alameda Citizens Against Fracking, Food and Water Watch, and various Alameda County residents. E&B swore by their responsible practice in spite of evidence citing the contrary, and also claimed the ban was aimed to shut down their business. They instead urged for version B to be approved, which would remove restrictions of all forms of fracking. Opponents and proponents of fracking rebutted arguments towards the end of the hearing. After long deliberation by the board, the verdict was version C would not threaten to shut down E&B Natural Resources, and therefore was a reasonable ordinance. Version C won unanimously.
Thank you all for coming. We really appreciate the community activism.
Once the hearing concluded, the attendees filed outside for a recap and discussion of next steps. A few speakers were available for comment.
We're taking some interviews with people, and here we have, what's your name?
My name is Frank Burton.
Hi, Frank Burton, and you are with anybody in particular or any group?
Well, yes, I'm on the steering committee for Alameda County Against Fracking, and I also sometimes speak as an individual, as I did tonight, in addition to speaking as a member of the steering committee of Alameda County Against Fracking.
All right, so wanted to ask, do you have any words about what happened tonight or the outcome?
Yes, I'm actually very pleased with the outcome. We got a very strong ordinance. It's not quite as strong as it could have been, but I think we got a very strong ordinance, and I don't think that we're going to have any problem with having any significant impairment to the health and safety of the residents of Alameda County or to our environment as a result of this. I think this is a really good ordinance.
Well, that's really good. Is there, where do you see things going from here?
Well, we have to go through a hearing with one committee of the Alameda County Board of Supervisors, and that will apparently happen in June. And then a little bit later, we'll have to go through the full Board of Supervisors in Alameda County. So that's where it goes from here.
All right, so glad it worked out well, and hope to see you around.
All right, thank you.
All right, thank you. And Ella, I want to follow up with you after the hearing to hear your words, what you have to say.
Thanks. So the commission ended up voting unanimously to pass the fracking ban. They did include the loophole to allow a restricted form of water flooding. So it wasn't the optimal choice A that we would have picked in a perfect world. And some Alameda County residents may find that they will be able to get behind this fairly strong fracking ban with the one loophole, and some folks may not be able to find that they can support that in terms of their own personal beliefs. So we're going to be charging forward, and we're going to see the item before the Board of Supervisors. And the question is, what do the people of Alameda County want now that this is the option before them on the table? This is just a recommendation. It isn't anything set in stone. So we still have the option to contact our Board of Supervisors, our local elected officials, and to voice our opinions if this isn't strong enough for folks. But Alameda County Against Fracking showed up in force one way or the other. We had about 50 people here. It was a really strong showing and a really clear message that the people of Alameda County do want to protect our water, to protect our county from fracking, and to have a pristine green future.
All right, thank you. So where do you think you go from here? Is there, you know which steps you're taking next? Or?
So the ordinance itself might go before one committee before it then goes to the Board of Supervisors. We as a coalition will be having a general meeting to determine what our next steps are. So until then, I can't give you a firm answer one way or the other. But we know that we're not going to give up on this fight, and we know that we're not going to give up on our county.
All right, thank you very much. And again, this is Ella Tivan with Food and Water Watch. And keep up the fight then. Thank you. And you are with...
Well, my name is Quanah Parker Brightman. I'm Executive Director of United Native Americans.
Yeah, and did you speak, and what are your thoughts on what happened tonight?
Well, it was a very positive step, of course, for the commissioners, to actually take an official vote to banning fracking here. And of course, it's taken years of work. I mean, some of us have been here for years coming out here, month after month. There was a time when things were in suspense. Basically, things weren't moving forward for a period of time, about 6-7 months. So when they came back and we started having these hearings again, it was very good that a number of groups have come together to form a very strong coalition. Of course, Alamedans Against Fracking. And of course, UNA, United Native Americans, is very proud to be a part of that. So I'm very proud of the commission for taking the steps that they did today in voting to ban fracking here. There are some things that they could have done a little bit better, but overall, when you look at the consensus of our group, the consensus will say that they did a very good job. And this is one hurdle. We have one more hurdle to go through as far as getting this recognized by the county. One more hoop to go through. So hopefully this will build some momentum, and we can finish off the work that we put out, for past 2+ years coming out here.
All right, well, thank you. Is there any other comments you'd like to make, like where we go from here or where you go from here?
Well, obviously, this is one county. There's many, many different counties here in the state of California, and of course, at the state level and federally, that we have to ban fracking. So if we can use this as an example for other communities, other particular agencies to step forward and ban fracking and get behind this movement, now is the time.